Welcome to my bold and beautiful today's show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribes button and give this video thumbs up. Liam gave Steffy and Finn an order as he confronted his fate. In Kelly's bedroom, Finn nestled the little girl in for a second time. Finn told Kelly he was regretful that she didn't get to go to the dance, but Kelly said that her daddy made the night special anyway. No matter what happens, Kelly, a bond between a dad and his daughter is always there, Finn assured Kelly. Finn told Kelly to hold on to memories from the living room dance party and think back on tonight and how special your dad made it for you, how your dad showed up for you, came through for you. Kelly said she felt so fortunate to have two daddies. It's an honor to be your stepdad, but I can never replace your dad because you have been blessed with an extraordinary father, Finn said, to which Kelly replied, Daddy said he'll never leave me. Liam could scarcely believe what Steffy was telling him after she said that he had an inoperable brain tumor and was dying. All he could do was chuckle, but Steffy insisted that what she said was true. Steffy repeated that the mass on Liam's cranium was inoperable. Finn's been trying to reach you, but I thought you should hear it from me, that I should be the one to tell you the news, Steffy wept. Liam remained in denial, so Steffy repeated herself. You have a tumor in your brain and doctors say there's nothing they can do about it, Steffy said. Steffy attempted to get Liam to go back to the hospital, but he refused. I'm not dying, Steffy. They can do anything nowadays, he said, thinking of new medical advancements. I have daughters. They're the two most important people to me in the world. I'm dying. What do you want from me? Liam asked, wondering how he would ever tell a thing like this to Kelly and Beth. Nothing is more important to me than them, and that's because they're all I have. Do you understand? He asked. They're all I have right now, and you're saying I have to abandon them, he added. Liam pointed out how he ate healthy, was youthful, and exercised, so how could this happen to him? I'm not dying. There's going to be more dances. There's going to be graduations and birthdays, and I'm going to be there for all of them because I have to be. When Finn returned to the room, Liam asked him if what Steffy said was true. Finn gave it to Liam plainly. The MRI showed a mass and unfortunately, the neuro team says it's inoperable, Finn said. So, we don't treat it. We just wait for me to die. Liam inquired. Finn said there could be methods to slow the progress of the tumor and prolong Liam's life. Steffy pledged Liam that she and Finn would be there for him. To Steffy's disbelief, Liam asserted that nobody else could know. Liam continued to repeat that he wasn't dying. There is something beyond science or medicine. I gotta make every second count, especially the ones with my daughters, so I am not accepting this death sentence. I got too much to live for, he said. In the Illinois Giordano prep room, Sheila approached Deacon and asked him to slip upstairs for a few minutes. Deacon turned Sheila down and confessed he had been thinking about Hope and the guy that betrayed her. Hope finally thought she found the right partner, and Carter, he turned out to be as bad as the rest of them. Maybe even worse. If it had been Liam in that position, he would have stood up for Hope, Deacon lamented. Deacon told Sheila about his visit with Carter and how he put matters into his own hands, or rather, his own fists. Sheila was astonished that Deacon karate chopped the guy. Deacon then brought up Liam. There is one of her exes that I wouldn't mind if she got back together with. Someone who I believe truly made her happy. I'm talking about Liam, Deacon said. As Hope sat in Brooke's living room, she was astonished when Carter just walked right in without knocking. I had to see you. I miss you, Hope, Carter said. Hope asked Carter about the big fashion display. Carter acknowledged that he hated that Hope for the future was not a part of it. Even more, I hate being apart from you, Carter confessed. Hope told Carter that she appreciated him attempting to fight for them, but you didn't fight when it mattered. Carter wanted Hope to see things from his side, the way he saw things from her side. Hope didn't care what Carter had to say. You hurt me. I believed in you. I trusted you more than I had any other man before, Hope said. Hope admitted that she was angry that Carter made a major decision that affected them both and didn't even consult with her. If you had, maybe I would have given you an answer that might have surprised you. Maybe I am starting to see the flaws in our little plan. Maybe I'm starting to think I shouldn't have gone along with the takeover, Hope argued. Hope confessed to Carter that she had been thinking about Liam, But Carter didn't want to hear it. Just give me a chance to make it up to you. Give me a chance to have that future we've been talking about. A future I still want with you, he said. Hope and Liam's possible reunion on Bold and the Beautiful. There's a lot of talk about Liam and Hope lately on the Bold and the Beautiful. But the two haven't crossed paths, at least not on the soap anyway. Liam's prognosis could bring the two back together, and we can't help but ruminate about it. What's on Deacon's mind? Deacon's encounter with Hope tore him up. He can't stop thinking about his daughter's love life, and he has no idea what went wrong. The once absent father could be the reason why Hope ends up with the incorrect men. Deacon glanced back at her dating history. He determined that Liam was the finest man for her. Hope kind of went off the rails after their divorce. She had a passionate love affair with Thomas that crashed and burnt. Then, she went after Steffy's spouse, Finn. Hope and Carter came together after their shared frustration with the Forresters. But she still believes that Carter was the best relationship in her life. Read this. Will Bridget violate Liam's trust on B&B? What's going on with Liam? Hope has no notion what's going on with Liam. He wishes to keep his medical crisis a secret. But we have a hunch that Hope will be pulled back into Liam's world. At some point, she'll want to know what's going on with him. She also had Liam on her mind after she talked to Deacon. However, she didn't believe they could go back to the way they were. If anything, they make superior friends and co-parents. This would still be an excellent time for a Lope reunion. The two have gone through some significant life changes after their divorce. They both confessed they felt kind of lost lately. It would be bittersweet for them to get back together, even if it were transitory. Liam's dire prognosis could offer some perspective. They might both realize they were better together. Hope would likely go back to Liam after discovering that he's dying. She would want to commemorate their family's final moments together. Hope faces Carter's plea. The Bold and the Beautiful reveals that Liam Spencer rejected his grim fate and was prepared to fight while Hope Logan confronted Carter Walton's plea. Here's how all Wednesday's B&B action went down. As John Finn Finnegan settled Kelly Spencer in at the Cliff House, he reflected on her private dance party with Liam and felt confident this would always be a night she remembered. Finn thought Kelly would be an old grandma one day and reflect back on how special Liam made things for her. Kelly felt fortunate to have two dads, so Finn was proud to be one of them, though he could never replace Liam's spot in her life. While Kelly reflected on Liam's vow to always be there for her, Liam was confused over Steffy Forrester's news in the living room. Liam felt like this must be some form of joke and that he couldn't possibly be dying. As Liam endured a headache, Steffy insisted that he needed to return to the hospital now that the scans had found an inoperable mass. Liam eventually accepted Steffy's medical updates were real, but he felt like there'd undoubtedly be some way for modern medicine to save him. When Steffy remained distraught, Liam started rambling about how he couldn't just abandon his daughters and never come back. This didn't make any sense to Liam since he lived a healthy lifestyle, so he struggled to believe he couldn't surmount his condition. Once Finn returned from Kelly's room, Liam turned to him for answers next and pondered if he was really dying. Finn backed Steffy up about the inoperable mass, so Liam asked how they should treat it then. However, Finn's reaction made it clear that there was no treatment for Liam other than attempting to slow the tumor's progression. After Liam reminded Steffy and Finn that no one could know he was ill, he suggested there could be some way to rectify this. Liam talked about believing in something beyond science and medicine before making a prediction about staying around for his daughters. After Liam made a defiant rejection of his death sentence, he declared that he had too much to live for. At Illinois Giardino, Deacon Sharp told Sheila Sharp about using his knuckles to warn Carter away from Hope. Deacon also hinted about how Liam had matured as a person, so he remained hopeful that Hope and Liam might have a reunion in their future. At Brooke Logan's home, Carter showed up to say he missed Hope and that he hated being apart. After some talk about the upcoming fashion show, Carter attempted to make Hope understand his perspective following all the Forrester drama. Hope remained unhappy with Carter for not supporting her when she needed him most. Carter also decided to abdicate power without discussing it with Hope first, though she was starting to see she shouldn't have gone along with the takeover that was his idea. After Hope reflected on the turmoil she'd been through since her divorce from Liam, Carter realized she'd been ruminating about her ex-husband. Hope talked about doing some soul-searching before Carter once again begged for their own opportunity at a future together. The bold and the beautiful say Liam's medical crisis will bring some curveballs for the people he cares about. Carter's heart and Liam's denial. Carter confessed his heart while Liam wound up in denial. Meanwhile, Deacon confided in Sheila about his daughter's sorrow. These storylines are bound to cross at some juncture. You need to see what's happening for yourself. Grim prognosis. Steffy told Liam about his prognosis. He learned that he was ailing. But he was in denial. He couldn't comprehend why he was dying. Steffy explained that the doctors discovered a large mass in his brain that would be difficult to remove. Liam said that he was young and full of vitality. He's healthy and takes excellent care of himself. Finn eventually entered the room. Liam asked the top doctor what they could do to treat it. But Finn told Liam that the mass in his brain was inoperable. Unfortunately, there's also no cure. Liam didn't want to hear the truth. He wasn't accepting his death sentence. Liam argued that he has too much to live for and wanted to cherish these moments with his daughters. He also pledged Steffy and Finn to secrecy once again. He still doesn't want anyone to know about his medical crisis, not even his other ex-wife and daughter. But the truth is bound to come out at some juncture. Find out what transpired on B&B. True Confessions. Meanwhile, Hope spent her time sulking at her mom's home. She read the news about the Forresters returning to their company. Shockingly, Carter turned up at her door after he locked lips with Daphne once again. He told her that he missed her and loved her. Hope still felt betrayed by what happened. Carter did the right thing by returning the company to its legitimate owners without her consent or knowledge. However, in Hope's mind, she feels like he should have gone along with their messy plot, particularly since he came up with the idea. Will Hope accept Carter back? She told him that he's the only man she could trust. Daughter dilemma. That's not the only thing that's happening in Los Angeles. Deacon lost interest in Sheila's steamy caresses. That's because he had his daughter's love life on his mind. Deacon confided in Sheila about Hope and Carter's disastrous romance. Meanwhile, she couldn't help but roll her eyes. Obviously, she's not a fan of the Logans. Liam Spencer stood on the precipice of life and death, not as a broken man, but as a father with fire in his eyes, an unyielding devotion in his spirit, and a voice that would not be silenced not even by the whisper of mortality. As he stood in front of Steffy and Finn, the people who had molded the most meaningful chapters of his life, he did not crumble under the weight of his diagnosis. Instead, he gave an order, one final act of control in a life spiraling into pandemonium. The man with a brain tumor, declared inoperable, dying by all medical accounts, didn't plead or retreat. He commanded. He insisted that his truth would not be confined to charts or scans, that his daughters would not witness their father fade into oblivion. No, Liam wouldn't allow it, not while breath remained in his lungs and purpose beat in his heart. Even as Steffy tearfully explained the cruel truth, the clinical finality of it all, and Finn affirmed with heartbreaking honesty that the neuro team had found no solution, Liam defied the diagnosis with every fiber of his being. "I'm not dying," he repeated like a supplication, a mantra, a vow. Not out of ignorance, but out of a father's will to remain inscribed in the lives of his daughters Kelly and Beth long after his body might surrender. Steffy, torn between the past they shared and the family she built with Finn, witnessed the father of her child unravel in denial, yet with a clarity that few possess when staring into the abyss. Liam's voice cracked, not with weakness but with fury and sorrow, as he pointed out his clean lifestyle, his youth, his discipline, the life he had constructed around being present. "I eat healthy. I exercise. I'm youthful. This wasn't supposed to happen to me." He was right, it wasn't fair. But nothing about life ever had been equitable to Liam Spencer. Not his tangled romances, not the betrayals that tore through his heart, not the choices that left him drifting from hope, or the moments he lost attempting to be everything to everyone. But here, in this quiet storm, he focused with laser intensity on what truly mattered, his daughters. That's what made his words an edict, not a plea. He wasn't asking Steffy and Finn for assistance. He was instructing them, entrusting them with a mission. "Nobody else can know," he said firmly, perhaps to protect his daughters from dread, perhaps to control what remained of his legacy. His fight wasn't for survival, it was for dignity, for memories, for love lived boldly and long even in borrowed time. And so, as Finn nodded with professional regret but personal sympathy, Liam turned away from medical charts and turned toward meaning. Kelly's bedroom had become a sacred sanctuary, not because of pink pillows or fanciful decor, but because it bore witness to the heart of a father. Finn tucked her in, attempting to soothe her disappointment about missing the daddy-daughter dance, but the little girl's voice glowed with wonder. "My daddy made the night special anyway," she beamed, referring to the impromptu living room performance Liam orchestrated, unplanned but unforgettable. "No matter what happens, Kelly, a bond between a dad and his daughter is always there," Finn said, a poignant echo of a truth Liam lived that night. And when Kelly, with a heart full of love, said she was fortunate to have two daddies, Finn gently reminded her, "I can never replace your dad. You've been blessed with an extraordinary father." Those words weren't just comfort, they were prophecy. Kelly would grow to treasure that dance long after Liam was gone. She'd cling to the memory of her father twirling her in the living room, spinning her delight into permanence. It was a moment out of time, a minor rebellion against the ticking clock. And Liam knew that. That's why he showed up. That's why he fought back with moments instead of medication. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Los Angeles, souls were colliding with truths of their own. In Brooke's living room, Hope Logan gazed into the eyes of Carter Walton, her lover turned regret. He walked in uninvited, as if proximity could repair a broken bond. But Hope, astute and wounded, stood her ground. "You didn't fight when it mattered," she told him, her voice not frigid but resolute. Carter pled, begged, confessed, but Hope saw through him. She saw a man who couldn't hold her when the world was crumbling apart. And while she didn't utter it aloud, her mind drifted back to the one man who always had, Liam. He was a part of her essence, no matter how many times they tried to unravel each other. And though she wasn't yet aware of his condition, his spirit was already beckoning to hers. Across town, Deacon Sharp, Hope's father, nursed his own misgivings. Not just about his failures as a father, but about the way his daughter's heart had been misled time and again. In his eyes, there was only one man who had ever made Hope shine like the woman she was meant to be. "I'm talking about Liam," he told Sheila, surprising even her with the vulnerability of his admission. Deacon believed Liam was Hope's true north, her shelter in every tempest. And somewhere deep down, Hope must have sensed it too, because Carter's words didn't move her. Instead, she heard Liam's name like an echo. Like destiny. Deacon wasn't incorrect. Hope and Liam had spiraled apart after their divorce, tumbling into distractions, into failed partners and misguided decisions. Hope with Thomas. Hope with Carter. Even Hope daring to investigate something dangerous with Finn. But none of it had the gravitas of what she shared with Liam. They were family not just because of Beth, but because of something inexplicable, undeniable. And now, the universe was shifting again. Liam's diagnosis, his secret conflict, could pull Hope back into his orbit. Because love like theirs doesn't disappear. It freezes. It pauses. It hesitates. But it never dies. And when Hope discovers that Liam is ailing, it won't be pity that brings her back. It will be destiny. It will be the truth of a family that never truly broke. She'll want to give Beth moments with her father that Beth will never forget. She'll want to hold Liam's hand through the darkness, not to rescue him, but to remind him that he mattered. That he was adored. That he didn't fail. That he was enough. That reunion, if it transpires, won't be simple. It won't be tied in a tidy bow. It will be chaotic, complicated, bittersweet. And yet, it will be magnificent. Because Liam, in his final chapter, would find closure not just in the embrace of his children, but in the forgiveness of Hope, in the knowledge that he left behind more than memories, he left behind love. He left behind legacy. And that command he gave to Steffy and Finn, that was his method of carving out time, of constructing a space where he could still be a father, a friend, a man of meaning. His defiance wasn't denial. It was the purest form of devotion. "I've got too much to live for," he had said. And he did. Not in years, but in instances. And those moments would outlive him, echo in Kelly's laughter, in Beth's fantasies, in Hope's tears. They'd live on in Steffy's admiration and Finn's modest respect. They'd even endure in the unexpected admiration of Deacon Sharp, who saw in Liam the kind of man he always wanted to be for his daughter. So, as the world turns and stories unravel, one truth remains unshakable: Liam Spencer isn't gone. Not yet. And even when he is, he'll still be here in memories, in dances, in daughters, and in the enduring devotion that made him a father worth fighting for.